What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Petty Parade, and we are here today to talk about Fusion for new players. And what I mean about that is if you're new, early game, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. In the background right now, we're running the keep for the basic dungeon, which I can't remember right now. Still an early game player myself. But we're on 15 and we're clearing it in about a minute or so. I'd recommend you be somewhere in my area before you really start considering fusions. Unless the only caveat I would give for like Relic Keeper is if you are very arena focused, he can be a pretty good arena monster if you have not had a lot of luck in your pools. But usually the game's generous enough that you can get by for a little while. The main reason I'm even worrying about fusions right now is for the missions, and I just want to say it's the third rank of missions where the last thing you have to do is fuse the Relic Keeper. So you want to be in that, finishing up your second tier missions, going into your third before you really start considering it. Actually, I did not mean to run that again. I want to go ahead and show you guys my account real quick. Rip my energy. You don't want to do that too much. Looks like we're dropping some frame rates. That's cool. That's cool. All right, so real quick, let's go ahead and jump back to here. So you should probably have a solid team to where you're pushing over, 12 in all of the dungeons before you really start worrying about these guys. So right here, I've just now started working on a lot of these guys. Him, I actually got lucky and managed to pull, so I didn't have to worry about all of these. But missions will make you fuse this guy anyways, so you want to keep your eye out, for these guys. All of these two I know for sure come from campaign, and I'm fairly certain those two do as well. I'm just not 100% positive on that. So if you're early game, you don't want to focus too much on something like this. Um, Honestly, it's kind of a ruse. Early game players really don't want to look at this until you're getting to the late stages of being early game. Early game lasts for a very long time in games like these. You will be early game until you're maybe 3 months, 4 months in, and even then you're just going to be mid game. Like there's still going to be the big boys that make you tremble in your boots. It takes a while to really progress in these kinds of games. Um, so just something to keep in mind. I've gotten pretty lucky with my pulls. So as far as my arena champions, uh, I don't have a strong need for Relic Keeper. This is my general team. I actually usually have her switched out for Atlan these days, and I just finished his mastery, so we're actually going to switch that now, even though her cleanse is very strong. Atlan's so big. Look at how tall that boy is. But a lot of these champions you want to keep an eye out for when you're going through and summoning. Big recommendation for all early game players is save one of every monster. You never know who's going to be a event fusion or with buffs and changes who might be relevant. It's a good idea to keep one of just about everyone you can. When you start getting dupes, then you can use these for food and everything. Otherwise, you want to be leveling up 2-star monsters. So yeah, just keep one of everybody. Just top piece of advice that I can give you for early game fusion. Don't worry about it yet, but start saving monsters because unless you know exactly everyone who you need, which I don't, I have to go look at the pretty pictures all the time and make sure I'm building the right people. So just something to keep in mind. Uh, I've only been playing for about 6 weeks. So there is a fair amount of fusion events that I have missed. So I don't know if those are largely void monsters like Tormund was, or if they're, more diverse. I'd have to go back and look and see. But definitely save everybody that you can. Um, this guy is very, very strong in arena as well. But again, this is not something that I would recommend really early game players worry about. Once you start getting up to the point to where you're, farming between like 13 and 15 in the dungeons, you don't have to wait until you're doing, D20 of all of them. But you at least want to be getting to those later stages before this starts becoming a priority. But if you've been doing the right things and saving your monsters and only feeding dupes, you should be in pretty good position at this point to summon a lot of these pretty effortlessly. If you do it before too early, you're going to spend a lot of time and resources that you need to use to progress further into the game. Um, so, just a little bit of advice for all the early game players out there. Shout outs from your early game brother yourself, you know what I mean? Um, and yeah, I think that'll do it. That is a quick early game guide to fusion monsters. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, this has been your boy Pretty Parade, and thank you for stopping by. Peace.